You must remember this. A kiss is just a kiss. A sigh is just a sigh. The fundamental things apply as time goes by.
Hello everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Got two great tools today. An old antique wrench that's sort of a multi-tool, and a PlanetJr wrench, which we've never had before. Two antiques we want to restore today. Let's get down to the shop and get started.
My son and I were recently at a flea market, and he had been looking for a small breaker bar to put in a small tool set of small tools he was putting together, and he purchased this really nice plum, the nice knurling and everything on it. In fact, he really commented, "You don't see that nowadays." I said, "That's true." And of course, he laid claim to it before I did, so it's his. He recently brought it back to me, and he said, "This is the strangest tool I've ever had." He said, "I tried to use my 1/4-inch sockets, and they were too small." He said, "I tried to use my 3/8 and they were too large." He said, "Is there such a thing as a 5/16 drive?" I said, "I've never seen a 5/16 drive. I don't know what it is." He said, "Well, let me leave it with you. Ask your people what they think and what they know about it." And I said I would. Well, in the meantime, it brings me to this new caliper. And why do I have this caliper? Because my eyes have gotten really bad, and I have trouble seeing digital readouts, and especially on real small screens. I had a very nice caliper. I gave it to my son, and I bought this one. And let me tell you why I bought it. If you look at it here and look at the screen, see that large readout on here? Huge. That's exactly what I need. So I need to use this to get an accurate measurement of this drive part, this square drive on here. And the nice thing about this unit, it gives it to you in fractions. Oops. I messed up there. It gives it to you in you know, the regular type, and then it gives it to you in fractions, in metric and in imperial. So this is 9/32 of an inch. You can see it very clearly there. And that's why I just love this new caliper. Because I haven't been able to use mine for quite a while, because I just couldn't read it. And it's hard to read all the little markings on here too. It's just something I've got to live with my eyes. But here's the second good part about this unit. Here's a USB to C cable. So it's rechargeable. Because what's the other big issue with our calipers? The batteries. They don't last very long. And you run out, and all of a sudden you don't have a backup, and you're on a project. What do? So the rechargeable battery, and the fact that it's got a nice readout on it that you can see how it reads out to the different measurements. So back to this, there's a 9/32 drive. Does anybody know anything they can tell me about a unit that was a 9/32 drive? And are there any such drive sockets made anywhere? And because this is mine now, I want to know more about it. And love my new caliper. This is the brand. It's Hardell, Hardell, and digital caliber with the nice readout, fractional, and all the different areas you might need, and very visible. So that's what I wanted to show you. Here's another project for today's video. I've had this screwdriver for many, many, many years. I got it when I first started collecting. an interesting one because it's got three different size hex nuts that you can drive on here, plus one on the end. So 4 different size of hex nuts or hex headed bolts that you can drive with this. It's also got one that slides where you can, it's variable, you can slide it up on something. On each side, it's got that little tapered cutout on it. Interesting little multi-tool, I guess you could call it. But when I first got this tool, I never cleaned up that pitting or anything on here. I did clean the rust off of it, but I wasn't, I was just getting started. I didn't know what I was doing. And this originally was painted a black color, and I later painted it this green. But again, I never smoothed it down and sanded this, so it's rough. And I want to get it taken back down, get the paint off, and get this smoothed and get all that pitting and rough marks off of it, and then find a suitable color to redo this that would look more like, the tool should have looked, rather than this jazzy color on here. I don't think it's the right color for this old tool. So I'm going to get to work and strip the paint and then start sanding on this. My other project for today is this neat little PlanetJr wrench that I found. I guess they're fairly common. I don't know. I've never had one before. And so I came across this one and made it mine. And it's rusty. And it needs to be cleaned up, and a lot of pitting on here. So I want to get this looking back to original. So that's my second one I'm going to work on today. And of course, the other item I'm working on is this screwdriver. I now got that green layer of paint off of here and the black layer underneath, so it's back down to the bare metal. And you can see I never did anything to this. Well, it's one of the first tools I ever got, and I didn't do a lot of work on them if I was going to paint them, but they don't look good painted if you don't smooth it down, because every little bump and wrinkle and mark and pit shows through that glossy paint. So we're going to first take this and sand it all over and get it super smooth, and then see what we want to do for a finish on this. But definitely don't want that ugly green I had on it before. Now let me get to work on it. Okay, it's time to pause the video, or pause the work for a few minutes and take a look at the progress. I used some stripper and got all the old paint off of here, a layer of green and a layer of black. And I've been sanding on it, and it's coming along, but there's still some work to be done on here. This is a lot of little light pitting all over it here, so more sanding for this one. The little PlanetJr wrench, I gave it a bath, let it soak overnight in Deoxy rust remover, and it did get all the rust off of it. It looks a lot better because of that. And then I took it over to the wire brush and gave it a quick pass with the wire brush. Gonna need some more work, but it's coming along fine. But I know the Deoxy, just like a vapor rust, gives it a dark cast, but this wrench was dark to begin with. I don't know if it ever was light. I don't know. I might do some investigating online and look at some and see what it looks, because I'm trying to get it back to an original look, but everything is coming up dark right now after even after the wire brushing. So we'll check it out. We'll try to get it right and do some more work on both of them, come back and show you where we are. So here we are with another update. The screwdriver's been completely sanded and buffed with Scotch-Brite and then scrubbed with 1/0 steel wool to give it a satin finish. I like it. It looks good. I don't know if that's going to be my final, but looking pretty good at this point. Quite a big improvement. A little had nowhere to go but up with this PlanetJr wrench. I got it sanded around the edges and scrubbed with Scotch-Brite, and got that area here, the raised part of the lettering shined where it stands out. It's got a good look to it. This may be what I do for a final with some minor work. I've got some cleaning to do down in here that I haven't done yet. There's a little dirt down in here, but it is a darkened metal back there. And it's got dark areas, but they accent nicely with the satin finish on here, so this could be a final here. Close to it, got a little rough edges it's got to be taken care of, but in this one I've just got to study it for a while and see if that's what I want for a final. Don't know yet. Got to study for a while. We'll come back and let you know. Well, I'll take you back to the beginning. First, I've got this antique screwdriver I've had for at least 5 years, probably longer. Never have been happy with it. I first painted the handle a black, and then I painted it a kind of a funky green color, which I don't know if it'll show up well on here. And got it out of the drawer several times, put it back. Just not happy with it. Originally, I never did any finishing on it of any kind, other than just lightly wire brush it and then my paint. And here's a PlanetJr wrench. Nice one. I've never had one before. It just is really dark and dingy and rusty. And so we took the PlanetJr wrench. We gave it a bath in Deoxy for 24 hours. Cleaned all the rust up, and I want to give it a look like original. I don't know what the exact original look was, but I'm going to go with a look that I've used on some tools that just really looks good on this type of tool. So I think it'll do fine for it. So here's what we did to get this wrench all finished up just nicely. We left the black, dark, color in all the recessed areas in the background, and then polished the top. Had a nice raised lettering on it, so we were able to polish that. Didn't put any highlighting on it. That's just sanded over the tops. And then all around the edges we did a satin. And these edges here, we did a satin look on it. I think it looks pretty good. I like the look. It gives it an old, antique-looking look. I've used that on this tight finish on several wrenches, and it just turns out very nice. So I think it's a keeper like that. We're going to go with it. This screwdriver, I was really torn on what to do exactly. Originally, I took it and I did a shiny finish on it, and it looked pretty good. The only problem with it was it didn't look like a heavy industrial wrench. This is more of a heavy with a big heavy steel handle and, the cutouts, probably a farm tool. But it just was, it didn't look good as a shiny wrench. It looked too new, I guess I've got to say. And I wanted it to look its age. So here's what I did to give the look that I wanted on this screwdriver. And you can see I gave it my old super blue, but it's just the great antique look, industrial look, old look, but nicely finished now. It's just smooth. It was, all rustic before. I had never sanded it, so I sanded all the surfaces and got them very smooth. And then, again, polished it, got it real shiny, and then grabbed my super blue and went to work on it. But that type of prep on a super blue really turns into a nice finish on a tool. You can see that. To me, it's just perfect. It's just a nice one, and better than that old one I've been looking at for 4 or 5 years and I didn't like. So I'm glad I finally took the time to work on it. Again, seeing them together here, you can see they have got that nice antique old tool look. The super blue here, and just really the natural color of the wrench, just polished up to get all the imperfections out. The satin and the, and then together with the black dark background, which was a natural color. Nice looking little wrench. And this one I can't say enough good things about because I'm just terribly, terribly happy with it. After all these years, it was great to get a good finish on here. That's my restorations for today. Thank you for watching.